morning and welcome to our assembly this morning from Kilkenny College. It's actually a beautiful, bright Wednesday morning, very cold. And when I woke up this morning, it was at home, the place was covered in snow. So I was really surprised when I came in here and found there was no snow. As I was driving in this morning, I was listening to the radio, and I'm going to talk a little bit about lighthouses. And as it happened, Ryan Tuberty was talking about lighthouses on the radio as well. So I thought there was something interesting about that. And then, to make matters better, he interviewed a man who's living in Mayo, who's living on the side of the Atlantic Ocean, looking out into Clew Bay. And it brought me right back home to my own home. And there's something beautiful and safe about a home. And today, as we gather, surrounded by roses and light and a lighthouse, I pray that in your home and in your heart that you will find peace and love, tranquility, health and blessing. So as we come to our assembly this morning, I invite you just for a moment of silence to open up your heart and invite all of these gifts into your life. And now I'd like to hand you over to Mr. T-Day, who's going to play and sing a beautiful hymn called Deck Thyself, My Soul with Gladness. So Mr. T-Day.
Deck thyself, my soul, with gladness, leave the glory haunts of sadness, come into the daylight splendor, there with joy thy praises render, unto him whose grace unbounded hath his wondrous banquet founded. I all that he reigneth, yet to dwell with thee is highest. Jesus, bread of life, I pray thee, let me gladly obey thee. Never to my hurt invited, me thy love with love requited. From this banquet let me measure, Lord, how vast and deep is treasure. Through the gifts that thee dost give me, as thy guest in heaven receive me.
As I said at the start, I really love lighthouses, and I love to visit Hookhead and have done so on many times and been on the tour inside a few times. And to me there's something fascinating and inspiring about lighthouses. A few years ago there was a documentary on TV, on RTE, about lighthouses around Ireland. And what I found really amazing about this was how precarious the lighthouses are, usually standing on the edge of a rock and the sea pounding around it. And although they are precarious, they're also very powerful and very important. So that's really how and why I started thinking about lighthouses for today. It's no secret that I think that the senior management team here in Kilkenny College are like lighthouses, and I've said it before, and I'm sure I'll say it again, but they have stood up and guided us through some of the most turbulent and challenging and difficult times in our lives. They have shone a light into times of darkness, and I personally, and I'm sure that many of you will feel that we owe them a great debt of gratitude. And the truth be told, there are many lighthouses in our lives. There's not just one, but a little bit like the Late Late Show, there's probably one for everyone in the audience. And I'm thinking of the teaching staff and all those who maintain online classes and support for students right throughout the college here. I think of your parents and your families and the people who support you and protect you at home. I think of your friends and the people who contact you and keep in touch just to make sure that you're okay. I think also of all of the nurses and doctors and surgeons and porters and security and carers, everybody really working throughout the hospitals and the homes around the country. Then there are the Gardaí and those who are working in shops, and I know even in our local postwoman, she drives up and bips the horn a couple of times every week and always has a smile and a happy greeting. So they to me are also signs of hope and signs of guidance and protection. I have a feeling that lighthouses tend to appear when we need them most. I have met many lighthouses in my life. One of them crossed my mind and crosses my mind quite often. He had a funny name. His name was Bill Bunworth, and he was a retired army officer in Athlone. And when I was 19 years of age, I was working in Dunn Stores in Athlone. And I remember one day Bill came into the room where I was with another group of young men, and we were having a laugh and a joke about different things. And Bill sat there for a few minutes, and then as he got up to leave, he took me by the arm and led me out of the room. And he gave me a bit of advice, which I will always be grateful for. Basically, he told me to remember that every time we make fun of a woman or speak disrespectfully, that I'm disrespecting my own mother and all women. And it really struck me forcefully what he was saying. It was a simple and clear message, but I've always remembered it. Just yesterday I was reading an article in one of the newspapers about a Jewish physician and a virologist who was born in Poland. His name was Albert Bruce Sabin, and he discovered the vaccine for polio. Instead of patenting the vaccine, he allowed it to be used by pharmaceutical companies to manufacture it so that it would be freely available throughout the whole world. He wasn't interested in making money out of it. All he really wanted was that goodness and good health and happiness might be brought to the children of the world. So he was inspired by love, not by greed. And I really loved that. I never knew the man, but something in me felt very connected to him, and I just loved what he did. This is an important week for us all. It's a week when the midterm starts on Friday. It's also a year this week, actually a year today I think, since we had our last whole school assembly on Ash Wednesday last year, and it was a really fantastic day. I remember the bishop walking up and down and crowds of students and staff gathering around, and we shared the common cup, and we were together singing and praising God and full of life. It's also, as you can see from the roses, it's also Valentine's week, and everyone needs a little bit of love in their life. So today I think of you, and I think of the people that you love. Some of you have been separated because of COVID. Some of you have lost loved ones. Some of us have carried a lot of pain because we cannot see or cannot be with people that we love. So here on the table in front of me, we have a little lighthouse. And I would like that this lighthouse might be a symbol of hope in your life. Hold on to the hope and trust and believe that love will see you through. So as we finish, I just have a very short little prayer, and it's my prayer for you today. Dear God, help us to learn to love unselfishly and to find great joy in giving and being kind to others. Bless all lovers, those who are together and those who are apart at this time. Help us to bring out the best in one another and to be guided by love in all our actions. Amen.
Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to be at Assembly once again this morning, and I would like to thank Reverend Alex for his wonderful words. And as Reverend Alex said, it's our final assembly before half-term this morning. I'm going to commence by going through our notices for today. Our first notice is to congratulate Nora Jordan in Form 4. Nora has been accepted on the Houses of the Oireachtas Transition Year Programme for 2021. I'd like to congratulate Nora on being selected for this programme and say well done to everybody who applied for acceptance into the programme for this year. Also, the book club is meeting this week, and the book club is reading Marcus Zunak's The Book Thief, and they will be meeting again after half-term on Monday the 8th of March at 8 p.m. and anybody who would like to participate in that is welcome to do so. Our third announcement is in relation to the 4th Form TY ECDL course, which is running on an online basis this year. We have 3 people who have already completed the ECDL course. So I want to say congratulations to Ella Jackson, Jane O'Keefe and George Shepherd. And I hope that Ella and Jane and George will be the first of quite a number of members of Form 4 who are going to manage to complete the ECDL course this year. Finally, in relation to Form 4, I also want to thank Mr. Clark and Ms. Wilkins and the TY coordinators who have put in place the TY activities programme for Wednesday the 10th, yesterday, and the previous Wednesday, Wednesday the 3rd of February, when TY students have had the opportunity to spend both Wednesdays engaged in transition year focused activities. That's a new set of activities that we've managed to put together to ensure that for transition year students, we're providing you with an opportunity, despite the national lockdown, to be able to engage specifically in transition year focused activities. And in addition to thanking my colleagues, I want to commend everybody in Form 4 for your enthusiastic taking up of those opportunities, as was evidenced from the returns submitted back to Mr. Clark last Wednesday. Over the last few weeks, we've been celebrating people's birthdays as they're coming up during the course of each week. So over half term, we have quite a number of people who are celebrating their birthdays. So I want to wish you all well, congratulate you on your big day coming up, and hope that everybody has the opportunity to share it with the people closest to you, the people that you love the most. So we want to wish happy birthday and best wishes to each of the following. To Caleb Brennan, Joshua Mills, Alex Spence, Heidi McClellan, Clive Ben, Amy O'Halloran, Enrico Oliveri, Isaac Colbeck, Martha Hughes Bravo, Eleanor Kane, Amy Pietrisi, Adam Shirley, Sive Hanley, Stephen Murphy, Ty Gordell, Stephen Young, Chloe Warren, Mark Case, Jack Walsh, Andrew Colburn, Ava Condell, Lily Finlay, Max Laverty, Ross Hatton, and Sarah Talbot. Happy birthday to everybody. As you know, we're moving towards half term. We will have completed 6 weeks of remote teaching and learning since the 11th of January. Everybody deserves a really good half-term break. In the year that it is, we're not going to be able to head off on journeys. We're not going to be able to go away on holidays outside, realistically outside our family homes. But we do need a break. Everybody has been working really, really hard. And so as we move into half term, I want to wish you all well. I want to wish your families well. And I really want to encourage you to try and have the opportunity, in as much as it's feasible to do so under the current national restrictions, to relax at home, to get outside hopefully, to be able to go for a walk or go for a run, or maybe get up on a pony or a horse or whatever you enjoy doing. Go out on a ride on your bike, but just have the chance to get some headspace away from screens and away from the intensity of concentration and focus that everybody has had to put in over the course of the last 6 weeks. The reality is that today we do not yet know when schools are going to fully reopen. The government and the Department of Education and Skills, as of today, are not in a position to make a formal announcement. It's very disappointing that that is the situation, and it's our hope that as soon as it is possible for the Department of Education to make an announcement about the planned reopening of schools, they will do so. It may even be the case that there is some form of announcement during half term. But as things stand today, it appears clear that we will be continuing on a remote teaching and learning basis in the immediacy after half term. So that means that when we come back on the 22nd of February, we are going to have to continue with the same level of positive commitment, of willingness to engage online that has been so clearly evident across all year groups over the course of the last 6 weeks. I've said at these assemblies before, we all know that we would much prefer to be all back here in Kilkenny College. And it's our hope that within a short number of weeks, that is indeed what will happen. Until that is the case, what's asked of all of us to ensure that we can continue with our learning and that we can continue to be part of this school community is that we continue to engage with remote teaching and learning. It is a challenge, but it's been a challenge that has been so positively taken on and overcome that we can approach the immediate weeks after half term with a level of confidence that we can continue to do the same. For the first time in the last 48 hours, we are possibly seeing a positive chink of light in terms of the number of COVID-19 cases being recorded nationally. They appear to be starting to come down. And if that continues, then that is the greatest cause of confidence for us to be able to fully return to school. We will, of course, continue to monitor that over the course of half term. And if there are any specific announcements made by the Department of Education and Skills. We will ensure that what that actually means to us here in Kilkenny College is communicated out to you as students and to your parents and guardians as soon as it is possible for us to do so. So I want to wish everybody well for half term. Thank you and thank your families for your support and your participation and your continued commitment to the life of Kilkenny College. Have a good break, and we will see you after the half term break has concluded.